Welcome back to Send Crypto. It is December the 26th, 2019, 7:28 p.m. Eastern Time. BTC is 7207 on Bitstamp. In today's content, guys, we're going to talk about the bigger picture, basically weekly, monthly, 21 days, and then we're going to focus a little bit on the lower degree, such as the 4-hour and then 12-hour time frame, right? So if you're new to the content, make sure to join our public Telegram group. The link is under the description. Guys, YouTube is basically deleting most YouTubers. So if you want to get our get our daily update, you can just join our public Telegram group, so you can join our private live stream. Depending what type of strike we're gonna get, I might just be doing like some private live stream just for the Telegram group instead of doing it public. We just gonna update the prices, price action, just privately instead of sending the link publicly, right? So make sure to do so. The link is under the description. If you're following another YouTuber also, you might want to do the same thing. If they got like if they got a private not private, but they get a public Telegram group, Discord, make sure to join them, and then so you can get a market gonna be very volatile, so you can stay up to date about the price action, news and stuff like that, right? Otherwise, the volatility going to be increasing very soon. Volume is decreasing. As you can see, that's a weekly time frame. Volume is decreasing and it's not going to go to zero, right? So we're going to get a big volatility in this area. So make sure to follow your favorite YouTuber, or your favorite YouTubers, and then and including Send Crypto also, right? All right, guys. So let's dive into the analysis. So we're going to start off with the weekly, and the most important thing you can notice on the weekly is like the 100 EMA on the weekly. I talked about it multiple times, and I told you guys pay attention to the weekly time frame. Pay attention to the 100 EMA. If we break this 100 EMA, I already told you, like already showed you on on the chart, like what moving average you need to be paying attention to, which is the 200 EMA, roughly around like a 5500. Already got a live stream regarding that 200 EMA at 55.41 right now, right? So but we're just gonna focus on this 100 EMA, and this 100 EMA, we got a nice divergence. If you take a look at it on Binance, the daily candle just started. If you take a look at it on Binance, it was basically a support. Right now it is acting as a resistance. That's 100 basically the 100 EMA on the weekly. So it is very important to pay attention to it. But if you go on Bitstamp, this moving average is acting as a great support, right? As soon as we break it, we could be facing some major challenges, okay? Major challenges to the downside. So basically we don't want to break 7100 if like we if you're bullish. Breaking 7100 7k area is going to be very nasty for the bulls, right? It's going to be very nasty for the bulls. So let me take a look at the chat room, see if you guys can hear. Say hey, what's up Onion Law? What's up J Mart? Hey, what's up Gary Yip? Hey, what's up Mitch? Thank you for tuning in, guys. So the weekly, we already know what we're looking for. Let me just include the 200 EMA. Aldo EMA. All right. That's what we're looking for regarding the 200 EMA on the weekly. Rough. That's the EMA. It is roughly around like a 5,000. The EMA is roughly around like a 5,500. I already showed you the EMA, but the EMA, it is roughly around like a 5k area, which is also a nice support, roughly around this area. So pay attention to it. It is basically very important. As soon as we break down to this area, 5500 could be a great support, right? So next thing we're gonna look at is like the monthly. If you take a look at the monthly, MACD already crossed over, but the good thing about this MACD crossing over, like if you go back like previously, take a look at it previously, right? Whenever we get the crossover the following month, we tend to get like a big push to the upside, right? So it is something like we need to be very careful about. Just because we got a crossover, right, that's a monthly time frame, so you can get a big push to the upside on the weekly and drop back down, so it's not going to affect the monthly, right? So we just have to be very careful. So back in 2018 we got the crossover, the following month bang, the next month bang, right? So let's just be cautious. Even though we're looking for like a 5k area, after that we're gonna get the rebound. Okay, so don't be extremely bearish under like a 6k and so on, right? I wouldn't be extremely bearish. Would be looking for a reversal pattern. Anything below 6k is basically could change the momentum, and then we could be facing some bullish reversal pattern, right? Monthly volume decreasing, no capitulation yet. That's the that's BIT stamp, but you know, no capitulation on the monthly yet. Biggest monthly candle we got was like back in July, and I told you June and July on the weekly time frame. I'm gonna show you back on the weekly. If like this, basically this weekly candle gonna close like this, we most likely gonna be facing like some major downtrend. And I told you guys like since like the first week of July, right? So that was incredible, and we still like facing some sell-off to the downside. But you know, the takeaway is like the monthly is bearish. It could be bearish the next like a 3 to at least 2 months. Okay, we could be facing some sell-off up to like roughly around like a February, March, and then from March and so on we could be looking for some move to the upside. But it is just speculative. I don't like to give like a term analysis. I'm just speculating regarding the time frame. BTC is crazy. We can drop down to 55, and then January, February, even like go back up to 9,500 and so on, right? So I would not be worrying about too much about timing. Just worry about like candles, volume, moving averages, and then everything should be okay, right? Everything should be okay. I'm not saying we're gonna turn bullish, but we could be looking for some reversal pattern. I wouldn't be shorting BTC below basically below 5k. We got the opportunity. We're gonna take a look at the daily time frame, right? And then we're gonna talk about those opportunities. So let's take a look at the 9 days candle. The 9-day candle just started. You can see today is, you know, basically the 27th. So the new daily candle started, and then the new 9-day candle started. So let's see how we're gonna be able to get a support on the 100 EMA on the 9-day. Basically heavy support, guys. So pretty much it is very strong. Okay, it is very strong, this 100 EMA on the 9-day. So we just have to break it. Okay, we just have to break it. Currently it is at 66.16. I'm looking for a 68.69 and then a 6100. We definitely can break it, but we're gonna need the volume. Okay, we're gonna need a good volume to break this heavy support, right? 3 days chart. The most important on the 3 days chart is like the double bottom we got on the MACD. It's not a double bottom, but double crossover we're looking to get, right? We already got it. That's extremely good for the bulls, but they have to maintain the momentum. If like they can maintain this momentum, we could be facing some challenges, you know, and BTC will be trying to push to the upside, right? So, but let's see if like the this crossover can fail, at least for the short term. The chart pattern, it is saying like we most likely gonna it most likely gonna fail, right? As of now, it most likely gonna fail. Looking at the WXYXZ correction, but as of now, let's just give the bull some time to react. Okay, they got this, especially on the 2 days already. They got the crossover. They already got the crossover on the 2 day, but they're not taking advantage of it. Okay, they're not taking advantage of it. Beautiful double bottom, you know, making some high lows, beautiful separation, but they're not basically pushing to the upside with a high volume, right? So they're gonna need the volume to do some damage. Other than that, the bear is most likely gonna be doing some damage to the downside, right? So let's take a look at the daily time frame. You can argue like on the Fibonacci. I talked about it in our premium group. You can argue like you know, we could be facing some more upside, right? But the reason why I'm saying like the bulls got a chance to give us some more damage. All right, so you can see like we got a big tail, big wick, small body. But the only reason I'm still like sticking with the bears, like this rejection came last. I talked about it in our premium member. This rejection came last. Okay, so you get the rejection to the downside and then you push the upside to get the last rejection. So if like we had the first rejection from the top and then get the last rejection from the bottom, I would be bullish, right? But the rejection ended up, started from 71 and then went all the way up to like 7400. So it is bearish. Okay, it is bearish. 21 EMA cannot close above it. That's still pretty bearish. Okay, it is very bearish. As of now, it is extremely bearish, right? So we're gonna talk about the halving. Okay, I still think like we're gonna get a big disappointment regarding the BTC halving. So, but who knows, right? But I think we're gonna get a big disappointment. I still think the price gonna go up, but it's not because of the halving. Okay, so after the halving, we could be facing like a major crash. Okay, major crash. But we're gonna talk about it later on. Okay, so let's dive into the 18-hour on the regular candle. The 18-hour candle, pretty bearish, very engulfing. Very low volume. We actually started a new 18-hour candle, so very engulfing, similar volume to the previous one. So it is not healthy at all for the bulls to try to do. It is not healthy at all for the bulls. Okay, right now the bear is in total control. They should have like maintained this bullishness, at least for the short term, maintain it, not to drop like 50% of this candle. But we lost all the momentum, guys. I'm not going to be bullish taking a look at this this selling pressure. Okay, I'm not going to be I wouldn't be in favor of I wouldn't be favoring basically the bulls in this current situation. All right, it's not healthy regarding the candle pattern. The most they can do is jump back up. Try to get back to this area of 100 EMA on the 18-hour. That's the most they can do. And during my last live stream, I showed you about the 18-hour. Okay, the this rejection we got, right? So we try to go back to this area, but can't even break 50% of this reversal path. So basically getting a major rejection, and this rejection is pretty significant. It is not something to play with, right? It is not something to play with. So you can see it on the hourly, the volume we got, the type of volume we basically got for that rejection was pretty heavy. All right, so any move to the upside, it is basically a short opportunity. Volume going to be decreasing. All right, that's going to be a nice scalp opportunity, and price could be pushing back up to like a 73 area, right? Could be pushing back up to 73, 73.50, and then it's going to be a nice short opportunity for a beautiful scalp, right? So keep that in mind. Any push to the upside, unless volume appear, unless like we get a bigger volume, but if the volume keep depleting and then we keep making this small candle like this, it's going to be a nice bear flag to take to the downside, right? It's going to be a nice bear flag to take to the downside. So all right, so make sure to join our public Telegram group, Mr. Fibonacci, in order to get these updates, right? So I'm gonna go back to your question later on, right? So hourly, we talked about it. Let's move on to the 4-hour. The 4-hour time frame is looking nasty, guys. I wouldn't be messing with BTC even going long in this area, right? I wouldn't be messing with BTC going long. The most I can expect from BTC could get a fake out, just like I say, to retest like a 73 to 73.50 range. But I wouldn't be too much bullish about BTC. The overall structure regarding the Elliott Wave, that's our next topic. We're going to talk about it, but the overall structure is bearish. The overall trend is bearish, but I'm still bullish on the long term for BTC. 3 to 5 years, I'm very bullish, but short term to medium term, I'm very bearish. But it doesn't mean like BTC cannot go back up, you know, and retest like a 14k 20k range in the near future, right? But I mean near future, within the next you know, 2 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years, but not like within the next 3 months expecting like you know, 14k 20k stuff like that, right? So but let's see how it is going to play out within the next few before the halving. Okay, let's see how it is going to play out. Hey, what's up, 55 mile per hour? Thanks a lot, Mr. 55. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, Mr. Health. K4 Liberty 43 watching. Please hit the likes. Mr. BU. Hey, what's up, Mr. BU? Gupta. So it seems like the whole crew in the house. Make sure to hit the likes, guys. Make sure also to join our public Telegram group in case we get some you know, YouTube strikes. You know, we're gonna find a way to connect together and then get these updates. So but if you just say let's say you're not in the Telegram group, I'm doing a private live stream, you're not going to be able to watch it, so because you're not going to get a notification. But if you join our public Telegram group, I'll send out the link, and then we can basically do our own you know, community update. It doesn't have to be about the private group or none of that, just these public updates. You can get it you know, when you join our public Telegram group. And make sure to do the same also, you know, for your favorite YouTuber. If they got a Discord, Twitter, whatever they got, make sure just to follow them, so you can get the news and all the good stuff, right? So hey, what's up, K4 Liberty 66 watching? He says 66 watching. Make sure to hit the likes. But let's take a look at the daily on the you know, regarding Elliott Wave, right? That's the next topic. So regarding the Elliott Waves, we basically talked about it previously. We said exactly, guys, we most likely, okay, the most probable scenario, you gotta remember, trading is probability. Just because I'm saying we're gonna drop, right, doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to drop. It is all based on what I see on the chart, and the probability of BTC dropping is much higher than the probability of BTC going up. Doesn't mean I'm going to be extremely bearish for the rest of the 2020 and stuff like that. No, okay. Like I told you just about this area back in February. I was expecting BTC to hit a 5700, 9k, 12k, right? Same thing, okay? So since 14k, right, after we got that bearish weekly candle, most people have been looking for what, 14, 16, 20k, right? I was telling you guys, you got to be ready for some very low numbers, okay? All the YouTube, basically all those videos in YouTube, right? You can go in my channel, and then you can basically see all those videos back in like July, right? Give basically most people in the Telegram group, they sold out at a 13.5. okay, they knew, you know, we're going to be making a dropping all the way down to 7100, 7200, and then basically most of them bought back at 72. Some of them, okay, bought back 72 and sold like a 9k, 10k area, right? So that's pretty good run up, right? A pretty good run up. So, but in terms of Elliott Waves, guys, we discussed this W, you know, X, Y, X, W, X, Y, X, Z correction down in this area. So the timing could be, it could take forever to just drop in this area, just because they could attempt to make a nice trend line in this area, because the time it takes to drop is basic, sometimes independent of the price action. What I mean by that, okay, we can drop all the way down to 5500 like this, or we can drop to 5500 like that, right? And I showed you, if you go on my channel, right, let's see, But if you go on my channel, right, I showed you like back in October, the first week of October, I was showing you the descending, basically this falling wedge, and I was making this three-wave move pullback, and I was telling you like we're gonna get this three-wave move pullback, and we're gonna drop all the way down in this area. That was like back in October 1st, guys, the first week of October. That's when I was expecting BC to make that move, and we're still in range, guys. You gotta think about it, guys. 2.5 months, right? Ago, I was telling you we're gonna pull back up, and then we're gonna drop back down, and then we're gonna make a nice move to the upside. Okay, and we're gonna make this move to the upside, but we're gonna get this drop first. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, we're gonna get this drop first, right? So basically the WXY correction, I don't want to even talk about it again, because we've been talking about it like since July, guys. Since July, guys. Can you imagine? Before even we started this move, that's when we started talking about it. Okay, before even we started this move, before even we started it, so we anticipated it, right? We anticipated this move, and if to verify it, just go back and watch all my videos like back in the first week of July. Okay, you can watch just a couple of them, and then you can see what I'm talking about. 6 months ago, guys. 6 months, almost 6 months ago. Anin Love say Igoden Su Leo Oti Denata. Man. All right. Let me just not try to read it. So thanks a lot, Reese's Cup. Let me see. Let me do this. Oh, you haven't missed the King XRP yet, right? Haven't missed. We're gonna talk about XRP. I'm looking for a good buy for XRP, guys, and I already updated the premium group where we need to look for some buy order for XRP, right? So we're just gonna talk about this move really quick. And this move, guys, since like most of you guys been following, so if you're new to the content, we anticipated this move back in like November 24th. We said, guys, we dropped down. This correction could take at least 2 to 3 weeks, right? It's already over 1 month of correction. So similar move we got in this area, we expected it. Okay, we expected it, and we said like, guys, we're gonna be in this range for a very long time. So what we need to do, we just need to be careful, right? And short the top. Okay, we shorted the top 3 times, guys. So basically we took a nice short at a 70, roughly around like a 74 down to 685, and then it pumped back up to 76. We took it down like to 72.45, and it pumped back up to this one was right here, right? 72.45, right? So it pumped back up to 75 to 77. We took it down all the way down to 68 range. Okay, now it is pumping back up, and now we just, you know, every move to the upside is a short opportunity. Okay, every move to the upside is a short opportunity. So just to get a better average, right? So most likely, guys, this at least gonna, you know, drop down to this area, at least right around like a 68 to 69 area. We could get that move. Okay, it's just going to be it could take some time, but most likely we're gonna get this move down. Okay, probably, you know, a push up before another sell off to the downside. So make sure to join our premium members, especially, you know, we cannot, if YouTube basically ban our channel, we gotta find a way to find other platform to do some live stream. I don't do any update, I mean any uploads, so everything is live. So, you know, make sure to join at least the public Telegram group. And if I find some other platforms like a D Live, I think D Live only do not only do, but I think they do a live stream. They don't let you upload some videos. I think like somebody said it in YouTube. I forgot his name. But he was saying like they don't do like any uploads unless you got like some good amount of followers, stuff like that, right? So, but I don't worry about uploading. I can do everything live. It doesn't matter which coin you ask me, I can do it live, guys. So live. So Hey, what's up, K for Liberty? His name is Sen. I'm gonna talk about BCH, man. Don't worry, Anin. Don't worry. Don't talk about BCH. Don't talk about BCH. But the most important, like, to pay attention to BTC. I don't think the chart is bullish at all. I've seen like a couple of analysts like counting this as 5 wave to the downside, and then they're looking for another move to the upside. I just don't like to count 5 wave in this area. I just, just count it as a very impulse wave. You can go down, and let's say I try to count 5. If I try to find 5 wave in this area, right, you might get different 5 waves than I get, right? So 1, 2, you might say 3, 4, 5, right? Or you could say that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. I don't like to count it like this. Okay, if you count it like this, then you're gonna have to say that's 1. You're gonna be looking for 2, and then you're gonna be looking for 3 wave, just like that. So that's one of the reasons I don't want to count 5 waves. Just want to count this as a very impulse wave. Okay, and then that's it. That's all you need. You need like WXY. That's 1, and then your wave number 2 gonna be in this area, and your wave number 3 in that area. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it. If you don't do it like that, you're just gonna have to count this as a 5 wave also, right? 1, 2. You can see you can even find 5 wave in this area, right? You don't find 5 waves, right? And you're gonna try to count this as 5 wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're gonna be like A, B, C, and it's gonna be very complicated. It doesn't make sense to me. Try to count 5 wave down, right? And then yes, you can find 5 wave down, but you don't want to count this as your 5th wave. Okay, it's not proportional to this wave to the downside, right? This move, it's not really proportional, right? This drop is one single drop, guys. One impulse drop, and then this wave, it is its own wave. Okay, ABC correction, right? So hopefully it makes sense, right? Like this, you got 1, 2, and 3. It makes sense like this. Then try to count this wave to the down, this B wave as your wave number 5, right? Can it go higher? Yes, it can be expanded. Okay, it can be expanded up to like 81, 82, and so on, right? So, but let's see if like we're gonna get the necessary rejection. We might not see any impulse wave to the downside, right? So I mean any impulse wave to the upside. So me ine apotus caliterus crypto crew university. Oh, he's saying, oh, crypto crew university is really good, right? So I just have to translate that, right? So let's move on, guys, to Bitcoin Cash. We already talked about BTC, everything you need to know. The overall trend is bearish, right? Nothing bullish about BTC. So the overall trend is bearish. Target to the downside, final target roughly around like a 55. But we're gonna get some temporary stop in between, and we basically looking forward to these stops. In our premium member, we know exactly what to look for. We know exactly what to look for. Even if like BC wants to give us another pump, we know what to look for. We know what to look to the downside, right? So be extremely cautious. Make sure to follow your favorite YouTubers in case like something crazy going on in the near future. Within the next 3 to 5 days, you're gonna get some updates, right? So let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash for Anin. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash on the daily. Okay, one thing about Bitcoin Cash, it is looking weaker than like a Litecoin and Ethereum. Broke this head and shoulder. That's not good at all. Okay, that's not good at all. So target to the downside, you can either do your 1-to-1 extension, or you can look for 1.27 to 1.41. We already retested it. 1.27, 1.41, 1.618 going to be 145. But if you want to do a 1-to-1 extension of this move from the breakout, it could be very very low. You're looking at like roughly around like $80. Okay, $80 1-to-1 extension. If you want to do that 1-to-1 extension, if that's too much, just pay attention to the initial head and shoulder, which was this one, right? 1-to-1 extension of it. You see, that's gonna be a lot, guys. That's gonna be a lot. So you cannot use your arrows, otherwise it's gonna say that it's going to 0. So the best thing to do, if that's the case, just use your extension tool, right? Use your extension tool. All right. Okay, use your extension tool from top, which was like a 521. I would say the neckline roughly around the stop 500, neckline roughly 250. I could say like 250, right? And then again at 250, 1-to-1 going to be like a 120, like a 120. Okay, roughly, give or take, right? $120. So it is extremely bearish. Okay, we got a clean head and shoulder, right? 1-to-1 extension of it using your log scale, 120. You got another head and shoulder. Okay, you got another head and shoulder just to confirm this head and shoulder. Just in terms of pattern, okay, just in terms of pattern, it is extremely bearish. Okay, in terms of Elliott Wave, similar move to BTC. You got your W, you got your X in this area. All right, you got your Y down, and then you got your another, X, and then you're looking for this move to the downside again, right? So, but BTC pattern looks better than basically the Bitcoin Cash pattern. Another way of looking at it, you could look at this entire move as your W, right? And you look at this three-way move as your X, and then you could look for this wave move, down to roughly around like a 120 as your Y. Okay, that's another way of looking at it also. And that's the simplest way of looking at it, and more reasonable also to look at it like this. Okay, to look at it like this. Hey, what's up, boss? So basically, you got your Bitcoin Cash analysis. We're still looking for some move to the downside, clean WXY correction or WXYXZ correction, however you want to look at it. It is still, it still got some juice and some gas to go to the downside, guys. So we broke 50% pullback. That's a log scale 50% pullback. You can see how we basically triple bottom. So next area, which is like a 152, but if we, it could break 152, and drop all the way down to this area of 125 to roughly around like a 115 to 110 area. But we definitely very bearish on Bitcoin Cash. Let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum, as predicted, we're still looking for a lower $100 for Ethereum, swing low to swing high. If we break this area of 113, guys, we're just gonna have to look for the most recent support is like $100, right? The most recent support below the 0.786, that's a log scale, is going to be roughly $100 Ethereum. And we talked about it since like Ethereum was like in this area of $200. First of all, we talked about it when Ethereum was like a 285. We're gonna be making some nasty sell off to the downside, right? Some nasty sell off to the downside. So Ethereum very bearish, guys. It is very bearish. And I see like on the news like somebody transferring like almost $100 million worth of Ethereum to an exchange, something like that. But it is just bearish. Okay, it's a WXY correction, very clean, right? Just like XRP, very clean, guys. So we could be looking this box of 112, roughly around like a 112 to a $100 Ethereum. All right, so all right, guys. So next coin we're gonna take a look at is Litecoin. So Litecoin is basically looking very extremely very bearish, and we talk about it since Litecoin was 107. We're still like facing some down, some selling pressure. No sign of reversal yet, right? No sign of reversal. Still bearish. Okay, still bearish. Let's just take a look at the MACD. So no sign of reversal for Litecoin. Would love to see Litecoin give us a better pattern, but at the moment we're not looking good. This rejection we just got on the daily, it is pretty significant. Yeah, you know, very significant. And you can see whenever we get this type of rejection for Litecoin, yes, we can get some more, you know, some more juice to try to retest like a 50% of this candle, which is like $40 to $41. But it is absolutely guys bearish. Okay, it is very bearish. I don't care how much you know, we've been going down, but we're not seeing any sign of reversal. I wouldn't be buying Litecoin right now, to be honest, right? I think it's a big challenge to be buying right now until we see like a reversal pattern. And if like we started reversing, like, and then you jump in like right around $50 or so, you're still okay. You just making sure you buying the right, you know, you buying at the right time. Okay, catching the bottom is not my goal. You know, catching the trend is a goal, right? But it's no such thing as you know, missing the boat, right? It's no such thing as missing the boat. So that's just going to create some FOMO. Let's say you did not buy Litecoin at $22, but you bought Litecoin like $31, right? Still pretty good, right? Still pretty good. It, you know, sell all the way up to like $140. So it is still pretty good. So still pretty good, guys. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. So so let's take a look at EOS, and then we're going to talk about BTC on the bigger picture. As I showed you multiple time ago, since like August, we've been talking about that bigger picture. So let's see how you know, it is going to basically going to the big picture going to play out, right? That's XRP. Let's take a look at EOS. EOS is holding very strong and doesn't want to drop like the rest of the cryptos, just like Litecoin and so on. It is holding stronger than Litecoin and Ethereum. As of now, it is holding very strong. You could be saying like, oh, it is a bull flag. Yes, you could argue it's a bull flag, but this pattern we got in this area is not. And we said like this pattern sometimes going to give you a reversal pattern just to give you a clean flat before dropping. So as of now, I'm just going to look at it as a flat correction until we get like a big volume to decide which way we're going to go. That's BYBIT, right? So the volume is still depleting, so we haven't seen like the real you know, the real capitulation yet. Okay, we haven't seen the real capitulation yet, at least for the short term. So if BC gonna be breaking to the downside, most likely EOS could be breaking to the downside also, right? So and I think we are right at 0.786 for EOS. Yep, right at 0.786. So if we break this 0.786, which is like a $2, and we've been looking for $2 EOS since EOS was like a $4, right? So 50% cut up, 50% basically price cut, still good, right? But you can I would be accumulating. Let's say I'm interested in EOS. As soon as we break this area, I would be like start accumulating slowly all the way down to 150 and try to anticipate the next move to the upside, right? So, but I don't think we're gonna break this area easily, 150. I really don't think we're gonna break it, even though I'm extremely bearish. I was bearish on the EOS since like EOS was like a roughly $5, okay? Since like EOS was $5, so. But I don't think we're gonna break 150 that easy, right? So it's gonna be a nice area to be buying. unless if we break it, we know exactly what to look for, which is like a 93 to 72 area. Okay, 92 to 73 area. '93 to 73 area. Hey, you're welcome, Mr. Erica. So basically, let's move on to King XRP. So King XRP, similar setup. It is still dropping down to our target, roughly around like a 13 to 15, not dollars, 13 to 15 cents. So let's see how it is going to play out. After that, we're going to be looking for a big move. This move might not be a sharp reversal. It could be a sideways also. Okay, it could make a another double bottom in this area, probably another flat, looking like it's going to drop, and then it's going to give us a reverse. So the yellow line, it is just for illustration purposes, not for a linear move. Okay, don't look at this line as a linear move, right? So it is just for illustration. And we talked about this move since like XRP was like a 31, 32. When I was telling you do not long XRP at 31, 32, right? Because you're gonna get a better price. Okay, you're gonna get a better price. 31. Most people were basically anticipating the swell to pump the price, but they did not pay attention to the corrective move we got. Right? Similar move I'm showing you with BTC. Same exact move, just corrective, guys. Just corrective. So we could finally get this drop. Very close. We came down to 17. Still not, not 15 yet, right? But if like we can get 15 to 13, that'll be extremely good. Okay, extremely good. So let's take a look at a HD. Right. So that's a move we talk about, like I think that's a HD, right? HD BTC. So it gave us a nice pullback. Gave us this pullback right to the upside, a nasty drop. So it seemed like it is making another bear flag. So I would be looking for this move and that move next, right? So I would be looking for another move to the downside. But the overall trend is still it is bearish. This move is very bearish. Okay, it's bearish. I would be looking for, just for the long-term view, I would be looking for this tank to drop to the downside. Can you make like a multiple correction? Yes, that's your W, that's your X, right? Complete this X. Can we make this Y? Yes, we can make this Y correction to the upside. After that, we're going to complete this entire correction, and then we're going to be looking for this move to the downside. But this move is just it is just going to be noise. Try to play this stuff. I would just wait for the next sell-off down to 28,000 to like a 29,000, and then scoop some, and then look for this move to the upside, which could be like a 48,000, stuff like that, right? And then get this correction, and then we could get this move, right? So. But I wouldn't be trying to play like the small move, right? The small moves. So take a look at it. You got your impulse, right? Sometimes you just see like some beautiful setups, right? So you got 1, 2, 3. That's your W, right? So and then you're looking for your X. Right, so you got 1, 2, and then 3 wave to the downside, but this wave is not completed because you got an internal impulse, right? Let me change the color. You got an internal impulse, and then you got this another impulse back, another impulse to the downside. Now you're making a flag. So this drop to the downside gonna complete this entire X, right? This is your X. This entire X, right? Let me just change the color. All right, so it's gonna complete your entire X, right? So once we complete this X, we could anticipate another move to the, move to the upside. This one gonna be very choppy also. I don't think it's gonna be very very impulse, but we could be looking for another three-way move. Okay, another three-way move like this to the upside. All right, that's the most probable setup I see regarding HD, right? YB, I think it's YB, right? So you got your correction, and then you look for this move to the downside. Then that's going to be the buy, right? Look for this move to the downside. But let's try to complete this first before we talk about this move to the downside, right? But the most recent trade setup is like a move to the downside, right? So okay, hopefully that makes sense, right? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys, if you guys don't have any question regarding any alt, we're just gonna move on to BTC, take a look at the bigger picture, and before we call it a day or a night. So the bigger picture for BTC, we just started a new okay, we just started a new 21-day candle, and we started this candle like below the 21 EMA. And I told you multiple times, guys, we shouldn't been trading like below this 21 EMA on the 21-day candle. That was like back in September, guys. So you can see we're struggling to break it. Okay, next area to look for, it is just going to be the 200 weekly EMA. Okay, the 200 weekly EMA, which is exactly at the 5500 range. Let's take a look at it. Moving average, exponential. Let's do this. All right. So basically, the 200 weekly EMA, it is exactly at a 5561, right? So if you go on the 21-day candle, before we even retest this 100 EMA, we're just gonna have to retest that 5600, of course, right? And if we get a nice support right around this area of 21, not 21, but the 200 EMA on the weekly, we could be facing a nice run up to the upside. Okay, this one has like enough history to pay attention to it. Heavy support, heavy resistance. Before we get the push to the upside, it could support the price again if like we drop down to 55 area range. Can it break it? Yes, but the most important is like not to break it like for 5-6 weeks in a row, stuff like that. We can break it and not close below it for at least for the short term. We can break it but not close below it, right? Just like this area, okay, the 100 EMA, right? We only close below it like once, okay, after that big drop. We still like struggling to break the current weekly 21 EMA, right? Weekly 100 EMA. So all right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day and pay attention to the 200 weekly EMA. That's the most important right now, which is exactly at 5500 range, which is our target. And if you pay attention to the your Fibonacci retracement, we respected every single Fib retracement. We respected 382, respected 50%, respected 236. Okay, next area to respect, it is like a 50% pullback. That's the next area we could be looking for a corrective / bottoming before any further push to the upside, right? And then the RSI, looking extremely bearish on the weekly. That's not good at all. Okay, that's not good at all. That's a three-way move pullback. It is most likely gonna do this. Okay, it is most likely gonna do that, right? So all right, guys, thank you for watching, man. Make sure to join our public Telegram group. If you want to upgrade to the premium member, make sure to send me a private message, and I'm gonna give you the link to the Discord, right? And then give you the description about the fees and everything else, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.